All right, yes, and more yeses as we're live from the Stanley Marketplace, to be exact, Comida. And our hostess with the mostest. What's happening, Chef? Chef Rayme Rosello here with us.
Hi.
Good to see you.
Thanks.
It's been a couple days.
It's been 2 days.
But we were in Studio Kitchen, Colorado, and we caught up with you here, and we were kind of like, okay, we're going to get ready, but now we're ready, and this is what we've trained for, reopen, right?
Yeah, today's the day.
We're here to kind of dip our toe in the water, show people, hey, listen, things are okay.
Yeah.
It's nice and mellow. It feels good. It feels normal. The only thing that strikes me that's a little out of the ordinary is people are wearing their masks, but you've been doing it for a while. It takes 10 seconds, and you're at your table, and there you are. You're dining again.
Yeah. We've had a lot of people that were just, they haven't been out since the 1st of March. And so people have been really excited. It's been exactly the right number of people, not too many, so that we can just make sure that we're doing our protocols and figuring out what that looks like. And obviously people take their masks off when they're sitting at the tables, which is why we have our masks off here. And it's sort of how we're doing it. We just set the dining room up with a bunch of 8 tops and 6 tops and 4 tops, and we've been sitting lots of 2 people at a time at each of those tables.
We've got 2 hours to feature Comida and the Stanley Marketplace. Brian Palmer, you're here with us, too.
Hello, sir.
We're going to get it going, and while we've got this gentleman here with us, Chef Hosea Rosenberg, and it's good to see you. You're at Santos right now?
Nope, I'm at Blackbelly.
Yeah, I see behind you. I'm like, okay. All right, sir. We've got some ground to cover, but I'm so glad you've joined us. We've got a great cause, and it is a cause so close to your heart. It's Sophia's neighborhood, and I would like for you to take a moment to set this up, Chef.
Sure. So the same week we found out about coronavirus and having to shut our restaurants down, my wife and I found out that our daughter Sophie was diagnosed with one of the most rare genetic disorders known to man. She's one of 30 people that's ever been diagnosed with this disorder. She was originally diagnosed with juvenile arthritis, something we've been dealing with since she should have been walking. She didn't learn to walk right away because she wouldn't get up on her feet. The doctors thought it was arthritis, but it turns out it's this disease called MCTO, or multicentric carpotarsal osteolysis, which is a really rare disorder where the body breaks down all the small bones in the wrists and the ankles, and the bones eventually just disappear. And the children that they've studied that have this disorder slowly just lose the ability to walk and use their hands. And so we started a foundation called Sophie's Neighborhood. And she turns 3 tomorrow, and for her birthday, we're doing this giant online auction. And I've got chefs from all over the country, a bunch of people from Top Chef. We've got famous musicians. We've got the Lumineers. We've got the Avett Brothers. We've got all these people that are auctioning off experiences, dinners, that sort of thing. A lot of it will be kind of like we're doing now, like Zoom calls. So Wesley Schultz, the lead singer of the Lumineers, is doing a 30-minute session with the top bidder where he'll play music or he'll just do a chat with you or whatever you want. And we've got drink packages and just a ton of cool stuff. So if you go to sophiesneighborhood.org, or you can just text, and I'm forgetting the number right now. I'll get it to you in a second, but there's a number you can text Sophie to, and it'll bring you to the auction site. And so that happens all day tomorrow. We're really hoping we can raise a lot of money for treatment or even a cure for this disease, not just for Sophie, but for other little kids out there that have this rare, super rare, ultra rare disorder.
Okay, we all want to join in on this. I know we do. Bryant's already.
I'm looking it up
He's
right
busy.
now.
I'm on the website right now, and a few other things. And don't forget too, you can, if donating's a quicker thing for you, or you'd just like to go ahead and do that, please donate as well. So it's tomorrow, and so what does this look like? And I'm searching for the auction and the auction items, but folks will text. Did you find that portion of that, Chef? The text portion, because I'm searching for it right now. We'll get that information. Brian's on it.
Give me a second.
Well.
I got to look it up. My wife is going to slap me for not knowing it by heart.
I almost got it. I've got the online donation form.
Yeah, and there's a lot of information, Chef. So don't worry about that. But back to Sophie. I mean, you see the photos and this young gal. She is something else. Just a very vibrant young lady, and she wants to get out there and she wants to be active, and she's to herself, she's just a normal little girl that wants to do
Yeah.
all the regular things. Talk about that.
She's a great little girl. She's fiery. She's smart. She's funny. She loves to dance. She loves to sing. But you can already tell that this disease is taking over. She has a really hard time, like, walking. She can't really run. She can't go upstairs. She can't jump. We're worried she'll never be able to do a lot of things that other kids do, like ride a bicycle or something. So, we want to preserve her youth and her freedom and just her ability to do things that everybody else takes for granted. I found that number. It's 243-725. If you text Sophie to 243-725, it'll bring you to our auction site. You can look at all the items right now, but tomorrow it goes live early in the morning, and it goes till 9 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And we want people to bid. And if you just feel like supporting, you can just go right to our site, sophiesneighborhood.org, and just donate. A lot of people are doing that. I've just been overwhelmed by all the support that all the chefs in our area and across the country have offered. We're all going through the same thing right now. A lot of people have either had to close their businesses or, at the very minimum, fire a lot of people and go down to bare bones like we have. And the fact that people are out of the blue offering up assistance, it just warms my heart. I just can't believe how much support we've got.
I'm in, and I have a feeling a lot of our audience, a lot of foodies and culinarians and people that just really enjoy the hard work that you do for us. And just to see anybody and your daughter needing assistance, what does the money go towards? Is it treatment? I'm curious.
So what my wife and I have been doing since the day we found out, because we were told right out of the gate by experts, don't get your hopes up. There's no cure. There's no money in this. The problem with these ultra-rare diseases, especially childhood ultra-rare diseases, is that there's not enough people for pharmaceutical companies to get interested, because it takes millions of dollars to develop a drug. And if they don't have people to sell it to, they're not going to make their money back on the research. It's not that they don't want to help. It's just that it doesn't make business sense to spend all this time and effort to make something for one person. So we have to kind of drum up the money ourselves to put into research. And that's what we're doing right now. We've connected with a number of researchers, doctors, people that have been through this. We have some really strong supporters. There's this woman named Julia here in town that she started a company, I'm all over the place today. I didn't get enough sleep last night. Her daughter has an ultra-rare disease, and she reached out to us right out of the gate. Turned out we had done a fundraiser for her a couple years ago, and she's like, here's what you have to do. And you're going to have to do this as parents. No one else is going to do this work for you. So she's helped us meet a lot of people. And then we've also, just because of people like you getting on the radio, getting on TV, the reach we have with social media, a lot of people have come out of the woodwork and saying, oh, I know somebody that might be interested in helping you guys. And so we've found researchers all over the globe that are getting interested in helping us. But to answer your question, long-windedly, the money goes to starting clinical trials, doing mouse models, things like that, where we can get the money put towards research and then development of, hopefully, a drug or some sort of therapy that will help her and help other people that are in her situation.
Super rare, and listen, you're cutting new road, and what do you say? You don't say congratulations, but boy, you got your work cut out for you. What helps relieve this right now? What's treatment that works for her right now?
There really isn't any. We put her in night splints. She wears these casts on her legs. We are giving her arthritis medicine still, because that did help a little bit. Unfortunately, the problem with this disease is there's no known treatment or cure. So we're just slowly watching her body kind of, for lack of a better word, we're watching the bones dissolve over time. And so right now we're just treating her like any other kid would be treated. We're just having fun with her, but we're just being careful. We have to help her up and down stairs, and we have to, be extra cautious, because all of her bones are weak. So if she falls and breaks a bone, it may not heal, or it may not heal right. We're just loving every day with her. We're being in the moment. she's a very happy little girl. She's not in pain most of the time, thank God. So, we're just kind of going with it one day at a time, but we're getting a lot of strength and support from a lot of people. And that's what keeps us going. We see hope. We see a way out of this, and it just is going to take some time and a lot of money. And so we're just asking everybody that can help to think about it.
Oh, not only think about it. Let's do it. Call to action now. And you hear from the chef, gosh, where do you even begin? And where we begin is with hope. And hope is everything, as we've all been seeing through shutdowns and struggles in restaurants. And gosh, chef, just adding to another layer of a situation that is very difficult for you. Every day, though, you wake up and every day you do what you can to just forge on, and that's all you can do. And we want to be there for you. Tomorrow it starts. Chef,
Yep.
Tomorrow it starts, the auction?
Yeah, it starts first thing in the morning, early in the morning, and it goes until 9 p.m., so you have all day. You can kind of watch the items and see where they go, and as the day goes on, you have it until 9 p.m. Mountain Standard to make your bid. And as I said, if you don't feel like you need something for your money, you can always just donate to the organization.
Fantastic.
But it is a nonprofit, so it's all tax deductible. Anything you put towards Sophie's Neighborhood will be tax deductible. And it's just for a great cause. And I got to be honest, I'm struggling with the restaurants too, but it makes it feel very easy to deal with this pandemic when we're dealing with our daughter. It actually puts everything in perspective. We're figuring it out just like every other restaurant group is figuring it out. But it puts it into an interesting light. What matters most to me is my family and my daughter, and dealing with these restaurants and dealing with the pandemic, and we're building tents to seat people outside right now, and we're going through all this other stuff. That's the easy part. The hard part is making sure my little girl gets the help she needs.
For sure. Her name is Sophie, and it's sophiesneighborhood.org. I'm moving into the neighborhood. I ask other people to do the same thing, and I know folks that know you will jump right in. But if you're watching the stream today and you've heard this story, this is what we need to do, Bryant and Rayme. This is what
got
we
it
need
open
to do.
on my phone.
That's
Yeah,
great. Some of the auction items. Were you looking at them, Bryant?
I was looking at them. There's some great stuff on here.
What's on there?
Well, like Chef was saying, Lumineers, you can chat with those folks. Gail Simmons is doing a virtual chat with some people, some other foodie types. There's some signed sports paraphernalia. We've got this black and white Basquiat photograph signed by a really well-known New York City photographer. That caught my eye right away. It's really cool. There's a bunch of stuff on here, man.
You know who that photograph, that was donated by our friends who opened up the Banty Rooster in New York, were former Denver restaurant owners. So that was really cool. It's just a great connection.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I've got to hit it up next time I'm in New York.
Yeah.
Very cool. This is round one. I mean, it's a long journey. I know that, Chef. I tell you each and every time, we're here for you. Anything you want to get out, the message, just keep beating the drum. That's what we're going to do remainder of today's show and through tomorrow as well. And then you give us a heads up of anything else that we'd like to do. But if ever is there an opportunity to maybe catch up and say hello to Sophie, we sure would love to do that as well.
Yeah. I don't always bring her to work, but one of these days I'll get her on with the
You don't.
Once you meet her, you just can't
That's it.
help. You got to do what you got to do once you meet her. She's the cutest kid ever to live. She's full of energy, full of life, very smart, very funny, and we just appreciate all the help that people are offering.
For sure. And I know this is very secondary, but as we reopen, are you on track to reopen soon, Chef?
Well, we never closed. We've been doing takeout since day one of the coronavirus pandemic. We are slowly gearing up to sit people. But right now we're still just at the kind of grab and go and delivery angle. But we have outdoor areas being constructed, like with temporary tents and that kind of thing. So hopefully starting next week, we're going to have some outdoor dining available, but our dining room's interior won't be open for quite some time. We're just taking it slow and steady.
I can't wait to see the alfresco dining that you guys put together. Some of the greatest minds in up there in Boulder, Colorado. From Blackbelly today, and Chef, thanks for taking the time out for us. All of our hearts are very, very heavy, but let's lift the spirits and continue with that hope. And I can't wait to show some progress here in the future, because that's what it's all about. Let's make some progress.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me on the show, guys.
You bet.
Bye, Hosea.
Chef Hosea Rosenberg.
Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
So glad to have him on. And again, you guys, Sophie's Neighborhood, that's SOPHIES, neighborhood.org, sophiesneighborhood.org. Learn more information. I encourage you, Google MCTO. It's a rare condition. It's a bone condition. It's a terrible affliction in this young lady. Nobody deserves anything like that, especially a young girl that's just trying to develop herself and make her way through life. So let's all get together and jump in on that cause. Would appreciate it much. We're at the Stanley Marketplace today, and I am looking at a beautiful day outside. It's a little warm, and it's nice and cool inside, which is really ironic because, Rayme, here we go. We can dine inside again. What? Is this weird? Or
Yeah.
No, it's not weird.
I mean,
to me, I love it.
It's what I hope we get to do for forever.
Yeah.
At least in some way.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to have people back in. I feel really fortunate. There have been times when I've been concerned with my 3,500 square feet,
Sure.
but now that I have all of this space, I'm really excited about it. Plus,
Yeah.
our patio is amazing, and we have a big tent outside. So yeah, it's all covered, and there's lots of fresh air moving in and outside.
As the Modern Eater show hits the road to kind of be that toe in the water, that's what we've been calling ourselves. We've seen all kinds. We've been to quite a few. I think I've been to 6 dining rooms in the past since Saturday, since last Saturday. Right. Some places act like nothing ever happened. Other places do it perfectly right. I was at Angelo's last night celebrating my mother's 75th birthday. We're out on the patio at Angelo's, and those folks are doing everything right. Really not much that, as far as restaurants go, there's really not too many changes. I mean, talk about people that are trained on infectious diseases and that sanitation is, at the forefront. But you go into Stanley Marketplace, I look around, I did a little live today just to get people familiar with what's going on. But talk about another place of gathering that is just doing everything right. You guys are doing a great job down here, truly.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Fantastic job.
It's a good crew.
Good crew.
So, Bryant, let's talk about Stanley Marketplace itself, some of the changes outdoors. That's the name of the game right now. And you guys are blessed with some beautiful outdoors. Actually, the patio at Comida, gosh, I don't even know that you need to expand it much, but you probably could, but it's ready to rock and roll,
big
right?
Enough. Yeah. We could seat 40 people out there with the way our tables are spaced.
Yeah.
That seems like plenty.
Good to go rock and roll. But you're providing other areas as well for dining.
Yeah, we're very lucky to have a lot of outdoor space here at Stanley, and we are going to utilize it as best we can in the months ahead. So we put up a bunch of tents on our west side to offer some shade out there. We're finishing up some new spools that we got, like sanding them down, painting them, making sure they're super clean. We'll have those set up as sort of makeshift tables. And starting on Monday, we'll have a host out there who will greet people and assign them to a spool, and they're going to be spaced really far apart. And just following all the protocols and rules that we've been asked to follow, and giving people an opportunity to eat outside if they're more comfortable doing that. And then folks who want to come in have plenty of opportunities to do that here at Stanley as well.
Optimism. Are you optimistic about what's happening inside of your dining room? And you're all set. Seems like you're locked and loaded. You got the bartender here and your host that's going to set you down, and your kitchen's at full force. Dining tonight. This is first day open for you, right?
Yeah.
So tonight, are you doing reservations? How's that work out?
We probably have 40 people on the books right now, which is great.
Oh, man.
And we can only, as with anybody, we can only have 50 people in the dining room at any one time. But with the potential for 40 seats out on the patio, that brings it to a number that, with the staff that we'll have on, I think we'll be able to make sure everybody's taken care of, and also maybe work a little. For sure. So I feel very optimistic, and I'm really glad that it's May and not November.
Right.
Amen.
Yeah, absolutely. The food is the same, right? The same delicious food that you're used
The
to?
food is the same. We changed our menu. We definitely have pared down. There's some things that we just can't get right now. We also have a limited staff in the kitchen, so and our hours are limited. So we're not doing the entire what we've always done. We look forward to doing that again, but for right now, I think it's more than enough for our guests to enjoy. Plus, we've added some really delicious enchiladas and a few other things like a frozen prickly pear margarita, stuff like that. That's new.
I'm walking around. I'm trying to figure out really what's changed, and not much has changed. Bars have changed a bit. You can't go sit down.
You can't sit at the bar.
It's murky to me on the regulations of the bars. It's like, okay, you can't food or beverage service out, but that's what a bar is meant to do, just like a kitchen.
Right.
Prepare food and serve it. But can you hand somebody a can if they're just sitting at the bar? Can you drop them off food
Well,
at the bar?
you just can't sit at the bar.
Are you sure?
I
sat there. I stare at these.
If we are preparing drinks
Right.
behind the bar, my understanding is that you cannot sit at the bar. You cannot seat people at the bar. That's what the regulation says.
Yeah,
so
I'm digging into the guidance.
if we weren't preparing drinks back there, we could use it like it was a table, I suppose. But we're anyway.
Yeah.
Don't do that though, Rayme, because we want your drinks.
I want my drinks too.
That's right.
I'm really
The frozen machine. It's fantastic.
I had a prickly pear
Did
frozen
you?
margarita
Oh, my
yesterday.
goodness.
It was fantastic. Yeah.
Plus, you can get them in a plastic cup and walk around the property
Yeah,
with
that's a
them.
benefit.
You just can't get in your car with them, of course. But that makes sense because we can't do that anytime.
Have either of you guys gone out to eat yet?
No, I haven't.
Not
You've been
inside a
working.
restaurant.
I've been working.
That's what you're gonna say. I've been working.
Not inside a restaurant.
Yeah.
I do take out from our favorite places
Yeah,
all the time
same.
with a lot of regularity, but I haven't sat down inside a restaurant.
I'm going to do another poll. Every day I ask a poll, who's going out to eat? Yesterday's poll was, I actually thought it was pretty good. I'll get into what the poll said, but basically, and I'll go back, here we go, poll.
I'm surprised that so many people actually have answered the poll and said that they haven't gone out or they're concerned about doing it. I really thought that, it'd be flooded. I mean, not about flooded, but there'd be more people comfortable going out than what we've seen.
More people comfortable?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that they're doing the wait and see. Go ahead.
I think a lot of people are doing sort of a wait and see approach, and I think a lot of folks want to know the places they're going are doing everything right, and so they're waiting a couple days to see if that's the case. We opened Stanley Marketplace on Wednesday. We've been closed for 73 days at that point, and opened on Wednesday morning and we had people come for sure, but it wasn't anywhere near what a normal Wednesday would be pre-COVID-19. But we had a few more people here yesterday. Today's been a little bit busier. So I think as people get used to the idea of going out again, they'll
we
go
have
to
door
places they
counters
trust.
on the Stanley
We do.
doors as well. So
do.
it's great. I mean, the ownership, I know I said this the other day as well, but everybody that's involved with running this marketplace, they're paying attention to how to do it the right way, and they're doing it the right way, which has been awesome.
How do you navigate the right way now? Just following the guidance to the T? Is that the right way?
I think following the guidance, I don't know about the to the T part because the guidance changes with frequency, and it's tough to really get your handle on every single piece of component. And we're a really large urban market, so we're not a restaurant. There aren't food hall specific guidelines quite yet. We're working on that. So we've just worked really closely with local officials, particularly at the city of Aurora, to let them know what we want to do, to talk to them, make sure that they're on board with our plan. We have a couple of infectious disease specialists that we've been consulting with to make sure that we're doing things that are smart and safe. And we've worked really hard over the past few years since we've been open to develop a real trust among this community. And that's super valuable to us and important. And so we're not going to do anything that's going to violate that trust. So we're probably being more cautious than we might need to be or than regulations tell us to be. We're requiring masks here at Stanley. We have 500 employees here, and one of the ways to make sure they're all safe is to have people who come here that they're going to interact with them wear a mask. We weren't fully required to do that, but we figured we're going to be as really safe as we can right now. So, all that said, I think people feel like they can trust us because we've gone out of our way to try to do things right. And we've been really upfront about saying this is new territory for everybody. Things are going to change. We might tell you something different about ways to operate next week based on what we learn. And so we're just trying to be really transparent about what's going on over here and make sure we're doing everything as well as we can.
Trust is paramount. I mean, building that trust and not breaching it, making sure that the folks that have dined with you many, many times still come back. And the last thing you want to do is really a bad experience. I mean, to send someone away with a bad experience that's a killer. And that was really a problem as folks were navigating with takeout and delivery is how do I translate my product to where I'm not sending out a bad experience to somebody's place. When you come in here, and again, I feel comfortable. I mean, but I've been out trying to do these things, and you're just safe. But you have to trust yourself and your own instincts too. If you go somewhere and it's really you're not feeling it, and it's not right, because that does exist. Trust me, there's a lot of places that the customer is dictating what the operator is doing. As bizarre as that sounds, there are places that the customer doesn't want a lot of the doing it right, I guess you could say. But it's place to place and instance to instance. And I mean, I don't know, Rayme, what do you do as an operator, chef, and you've got staff and people that you rely on? What do you say to your staff as you're trying to reboot?
Well, today when we had our pre-service and, over the last several days as we've been preparing to reopen, we've just been talking about continuing to take care of each other and ourselves. We've talked a lot about how, I think there are people that, restaurant owners perhaps that at one point in time maybe really took for granted the amount of business that they had, and I would imagine that will be changing now that people have not had business coming through the doors. I know for me, what we've talked about with our staff is you have a mask on your face, so not only do you have to really be effusive in your language and your body language and with your voice, but you smile underneath that mask so that we can see your crow's feet and whatever else is going on your eyes. You face people, walk towards people, let them know that you're excited that they're here. Say thank you for coming in, things like that, because they could do just about anything else, including just stay at home.
What about keeping it really beyond tidy? I mean, anything, your servers and folks that are the face of your business, they really have to be on point right now.
Before anybody even clocks in, we're taking temperatures. They're answering. They have 7 questions that they have to answer no to. So that's one of our ways of every single employee every single day, and we're keeping log of it. And then washing hands at least every 30 minutes. But if after you clear a table, they're washing their hands. My dishwasher, that's one of the places for me where I feel is the most vulnerable. And so when we're carrying our people's dishes back, he wants to make sure that he's also taking care of himself. So we're setting things down in a way that we're not splashing the pot, so to speak. We're scraping things, just all of those little things that we used to have with the sanitizer for silverware, and you'd walk back and throw it in and it would splash up. We're not doing that anymore. It's all just every protocol is different. It's not the same, really, in any way. I said the other day, it's like we live in the same house with the same furniture, but we're speaking a different language on a different planet.
Jessica says Comida has the best pozole.
Oh, that's kind. We don't have it right now, sorry. But hopefully as of next week or the week after, we'll be putting it back on. Rhonda
says, stuck my toe in Loveland's local Eats last night. Rhonda, how was that? Let us know. So a couple of things. One restaurant I went to would come, the server, hello, my name is such and such, further away from the table, brought the water up, said, the first one's on me, pours the water. I'm not going to touch the water again. The rest is up to you.
Great.
For the table. Less touch points.
We're doing QRs. So we have a QR code on the back of every chair. So instead of having to touch a paper menu, if they don't want to, they can just scan it with their phone and look at the menu online. That way,
So Angela's was doing that, and my 75-year-old mom, right? She was like, hey, the little awkward for a 75-year-old woman. She goes, what's a QR code? I explained it to her. She didn't want to turn back after that. She loved it. Hit the QR code. It was on her phone. She could blow it up,
Yep.
to the side. She could see it from the moon and love that new feature. So that's cool and will stick. One thing I didn't like of one place is, and I know we have to sanitize after each one, but they came out with a spray bottle. I didn't want to see mist or a chance of any kind of mist near me.
Yeah.
So that was like a miss in my point. And let them know they actually like the feedback, too. What about feedback? Do you want to hear feedback from folks?
Yes, please. Absolutely. We love I mean, I, for years, have had a card that goes down on the table at the end of each meal that has a picture of me on it, just in case I'm sitting at the bar doing something silly.
There she is.
Yeah, that was her. And she was not paying attention. So just so it keeps me in check as much as my staff. Has my personal cell phone from when I first got a cell phone in 1996. Has that number on it and my email, and people can always write in and give me feedback. But, of course, they can also tell us when they're sitting here. I know my mother, who's almost 70, she's a young woman, but still she's like, if I go out and people are, she's like, I don't want to have anything to do with it, and I won't go back, and I'm going to write about it on Facebook. Okay.
Wow, Mom.
Well, it's great. She keeps me in check.
One thing, though, tolerance from customers. Do you ask anything of your customers that it's going to seem a little bit different in here, and we may not interact with your table as much, or maybe you will, but what do you expect from the customers, right?
We expect them to if they have children, we expect them to pay attention to their kids because that's not our job and they can't be running around.
Thank you.
And other than that, we ask that, we're 4 hours into it, 3 hours into it. We've asked that people take their masks off when they sit down at the table, but otherwise we just want them to enjoy themselves. Mm-hmm. So we're not really asking a lot of the guests at this point in time. And if they want more from us than they're getting, nobody has said that yet. I mean, I think we're figuring out what that balance is. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow, what do you think? People walking around here. I mean, Bryan, you are going to get some people in here like, I'm not going to wear a mask.
I mean, I think there are people out there like that, but we've been pretty forthright about it. We announced we were reopening on Tuesday, put everything out there on our social media channels, and we were like, look, here's what we're doing, here's why we have to do it. And the response was remarkably supportive. 200 comments of people saying, good for you, great. We had one of those comments where someone was like, I'm not going to come there if I have to wear a mask. And we were like, great. If, that's a choice you get to make. If you don't want to wear a mask, then just don't come here until after this is over. We feel like it's something we have to do. And so we're going to do that for our employees and our other guests. And people have been understanding so far.
This is just I wanted to show you guys, this is my beautiful mom last night. She got a little bit
nice.
Can we hear it, Jay?
Oh, that's great.
No. Oh, I can't hear it. Dang it.
75th birthday, you said?
Yeah. Oh, shoot. Well, she was blown out
awesome.
the candle there. But she said that she needed to live forever because everybody needs her right now. That's what she said.
You have brothers and sisters?
I have a sister, yeah.
Cool.
She's great. I mean, just full of life. And I believe it. She'll live forever. For sure she will. And that's the thing. How much of our lives revolve around celebration, going out, community, being with people, this void that we've had. And I know that I can't get over that.
Oh, it's great.
I know that, the past couple of months, people have just been rallying for the cause, but it wears on us. It really does. Just the seclusion and the Zoom calls and the lack of intimacy. Getting back to restaurants and eating again symbolizes so much more to me. A part of our lives that that void needs to be filled right now.
Well, and I feel I'm not in finding some of the good in what has happened. I think that there are things to be found in this last 10 weeks of shutdown. I think that we have an opportunity to be excited again about going out, and we're not taking advantage or taking it for granted. Maybe when we're going out now, we'll actually sit across from the people that we're with and look at them instead of our phones. Unless we're looking at the QR code on the menu or whatever. But I think it is. I got into this business because it's about community and being gracious and taking care of people and meeting their needs. It's about hospitality and really good food. And I feel like there's all of these other things that have been put on our plates as restaurant owners, Yelp responses, and to not have to maybe be engaged so much with all of that and instead do what we all want to show up for instead, I'm grateful to it.
Yeah, well, that's interesting, right? We do take our relationships for granted, going out for granted. Here's the thing, though, kind of, and the governor kind of made it clear when he was talking about the difference between bars and breweries and then restaurants. And the inhibitions with libations, they go down a little bit. You probably will see one table go, oh, I know them over there, or can we push these tables together? Not right now, right?
Thank you.
I mean, we can't do that right now. As much as people want to get together in larger groups and that kind of thing, it's like, okay, let's go out and just go slow.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can't even, we have our tables and our chairs all fixed with space that we're required to have, so you can't really even move your chair. There are some things that the guests just are not going to be able. It doesn't matter what they want necessarily. It's what needs to happen.
Yeah. Do you have your ear to the ground right now? Will there be a loosening of this at some point throughout the summertime? We've got to get a little more leniency, you would think, as we see the number of cases in the spread go down. It can't be this way forever.
No, but I don't think until there's a vaccine, I don't think that we'll see things loosen up very much.
Yeah. We're just looking not to spike anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is what the summer's going to look like
Yeah.
for sure. Will be something really similar to what we're doing today, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness, guys. We've got a lineup of stars at Stanley, and it's amazing.
Yeah,
I can't believe that you guys have cultivated some of the best around here. And I said to you beforehand, you got a sleeper over there with Raquel Serber. I definitely think she will be a James Beard nominated chef at some point, not to put the pressure on her, but she is excellent.
She's on the way over.
You've got Caroline Glover here as well from Annette. David Lewis.
David Lewis right over there.
Yeah. The talent here, did they come to you? Did you go recruit them? What did you do to get all of these great chefs and retail locations? You got some of the best here at Stanley.
A little bit of everything. One of the keys was early on, our guy Mark, who started this project, brought Rayme in. He would go out to places he loved and get to know those folks and talk to them. And when he got some buy-in from some folks early on, Rayme signed on pretty early. And, she was one of the few operators in Colorado who knew what it was like to be in a food hall because she had a place in the Source. And she brought that knowledge over here and sort of helped educate this community, which at the time was really small and trying to grow, about what a place like this could be like, we did some recruiting, and we recruited folks who were passionate enough about the project that they would go out and do recruiting too. The first retail, Shauna, she owns a store called True. She was the first retailer we signed on to Stanley, and she was like, I'm not opening here unless there are at least 5 other women's boutiques.
Wow.
I want this place to be a destination. And so she helped us recruit those folks.
Yeah. So Zero Market probably came in at that point.
What's
right?
that?
Zero Market.
Yeah, Zero Market and Goose and the Goat, we both met back at a Big Wonderful pop-up over in Rhino, and we loved them and their work, and they were, doing markets, just pop-up spots, and we were like, you got to come over here and check out this place in Aurora.
Yeah.
And a lot of people would, all these operators were Denver focused, and none of them had opened a business in Aurora before, and so part of it was sort of bringing them out here, showing them this old building, which was pretty dirty and beat up and run down at the time.
Yeah,
I couldn't even see the interior of my space because there were no windows and there were no lights.
Oh man!
Yeah, it was just a big black hole.
It was conceptual selling. You at that point, you had to here's our dream.
Here's our dream.
You want in on it?
Very much a dream.
And let's make no mistake that it wasn't all green pastures, especially towards the beginning.
Goodness.
There were people doubting you, and can we do this? And attendance was slim, and you kind of just navigated, and it built itself. It turned into family and community and those types of things. The things that you guys do for special events and Christmas time, some of the marquee things that you do, throw a couple of them out there because really, and I don't know how you come up with these, Bryant.
Look, we've always loved the arts, and we've always believed that, food is something that brings people together and sort of fosters community. We think the arts are too, so we went after partnerships with really great arts organizations early on. So Cherry Arts is a nonprofit organization over in Cherry Creek, and they produce the Cherry Creek Arts Festival with hundreds of thousands of people every year, and we teamed up with them to put on the Stanley Arts Festival every September.
And that started before, like a year before the building was even
2
finished. 2
years
years
before we were finished.
Yeah.
We had 2 of those here before anybody could walk inside the building.
It's crazy.
And then we teamed up with DCPA. I met them at a show that they were doing over in Rhino. Just found the guy producing it and was like, here's my little business card. We've got a building in Aurora. You got to come see it. Anything you want to do there, we'll do. And they came out for a walk, and we've done 4 productions with DCPA. One of them was Camp Christmas this past winter, brought 70,000 people here.
It's crazy.
For a ticketed experience. December here was
unbelievable,
beautiful. I might cry if I talk about it. It was an incredible, incredible experience. Seeing that many.
What stood out so much to you that was heartwarming?
That was an immersive holiday-themed event full of joy. And it just brought people here and inspired joy in them. And they would come to Stanley for this joyous experience with family and friends, and then they would spend the rest of the time in the marketplace.
Shop.
Eat.
We were
drink.
twice as busy as we were last December.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's something, for you, Bryant, I mean, trust me, it's cool to kind of look back at those types that you've been able to build that. But it's a big responsibility to bring things to folks that you're like, I want to be able to bring people in here for you to eat on it. That's a big responsibility, right?
It's a big responsibility. We're a really big building. We got 50-plus locally owned independent businesses here. And we feel committed to bringing folks here as much as we can to help every single one of those businesses thrive. And there's a lot of pressure there. We are always hyper aware of, who's in the building, what are they doing, are they eating, are they drinking, are they shopping, are they spending money, and why are they here, and will they come back, and how do we make them come back? And it's a big responsibility and something we take really seriously, though. We love this place. We love the businesses. The best part of my job is working with all these small business owners, getting to know them and their stories, and then, trying to help them succeed.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Stanley.
That's us.
Hey, Stanley. It's good stuff. Okay, you probably need to check on the team, and then we'd like to see some food, too, and we're going to go through some folks and have them sit down. But this is great. Thanks for being a host for us today.
Yeah, absolutely.
This
My
is
pleasure.
So cool. Okay, Rayme's going to take off and check on folks. Sitting down and dining, and Raquel's here. Hi, Rocky. Come on over here. I got to enjoy some hummus from Rocky today. Did you get your bag, Jay?
Yes, I did.
Okay, cool. All right, here she is.
Is that mine? Because it seems like a lot in there. Is that all me?
Well, I put what I didn't finish on top of there. How's your time, Brian?
Oh, thanks.
Oh, I'm good.
You're good?
You
Okay.
tell me when you need
No,
me.
you're
when
good.
You don't.
You're good to go. Okay, I'll have you do this. Introduce this guest, this next guest.
All right. Well, that's really exciting. So, if y'all been to Stanley before in the past couple years, there is a butcher shop and small market that's been called the Juniper Pig. And when you come back to Stanley now, you will notice a handful of changes that we've made in this 11-week shutdown. And one of the most exciting ones is that the Juniper Pig has been transformed into a place called Elita. It is, you'll recognize a lot of the space, but it is also new and fresh and different and really exciting, and that's largely in part to Chef Rocky. I think you're going to love the food that she's doing out of that space. I think you're going to be blown away, frankly. Mm-hmm. And today's the first day. Is that right, Rocky? That's crazy.
Unmute her mic.
First day of Elita here at Stanley Marketplace.
Yeah.
We're thrilled.
Feels like a combination of ripping off a Band-Aid and a firework at the same time. Like, I know it's going to be a little bit painful to kind of explain the transition at times, but mostly super excited to bring in bright new flavors with a lot of the techniques that we've already been doing as a butcher shop.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're a crowd favorite, so I can do this. I'm going to pause. We'll be back with Rocky. Jay's going to play a couple of words from our sponsors. Who are we going to hear from right now, Jay?
the Spice Guy, and Encore Energy.
Doing great work. Jay Parker on the ones and twos. Going to hear from Spice Guy and Encore Energy, and we'll be right back from Stanley Marketplace where Comida and Raquel Serber is going to join us. Chef, up next.
First, we partner with the best farmers in the world, and then we tell them, we will take it all. Process whole spices daily, blend custom spices to order, keep it fresh, safe, and flavorful, all so that you can get back to doing what you do best. So whether you're a restaurant, a food manufacturer, or an at-home cook, be sure to visit The Spice Guy at www.thespiceguyco.com.
Hey guys, it's Bryan Rizuto with Encore Energy, the guy who saves your businesses money on natural gas. I know these are crazy, crazy times right now. So while your business is working on increasing your sales, let me work on saving you guys money on your natural gas. I'll make it as easy as possible. Just provide 12 months worth of natural gas bills to me. I'll do the rest. I know you're really busy, so let me get to work for you. You can reach me at 720-245-5771. I look forward to hearing from you guys, and let me try to save you some money in these crazy times. Bye.
Okay, we'll continue right now from Comida. Just to back up just a bit, Hosea Rosenberg was on with us. He was from Blackbelly a little bit earlier. It's sophiesneighborhood.org. Please look up sophiesneighborhood.org. His young daughter, Sophie, has a terrible bone disease. It's in her hand, it's in her wrists, and it's in her they're called metatarsals, metacarpals, metatarsals. Your hands, these little bones in your hands and feet. The young lady has a degenerative bone disease that is just, there's no cure to it yet. There's really no treatment, but it's called MCTO. Research that. But here's what we want you to do. You text this to text 24372. And
725.
I'm sorry?
725.
Yeah. I have it up on the screen.
Oh, you do?
243-725 to donate. You text Sophie to that.
That's right.
SOPHIE.
243-725 and text Sophie to that. Okay, got it. Please look that up. Rocky joins us right now. Rocky, what is happening, man? This is good stuff, good stuff. I got to go in for the first time.
I'm so happy to see you.
Grab a little bit of lunch. Jay and I put some stuff away, squirreled it to take home. You've got, it's like, I go in there, it's like, okay, lunch and then dinner for later, and what do I want, and prepared stuff, and really artesian, delicious goodness, and a meat counter, too. Describe the place to
I'm
folks
not going to disagree with you. All of those things were correct. Well, you know, it's pretty simple and straightforward. It's really nothing, you know, not reinventing the wheel, but really sticking to responsibly sourced meats. It's a passion that I got from, you know, running this place for the last 2 years and learning about the husbandry of animals and how important that is and how different it tastes. So keeping those in general, and then just kind of bringing my culture of growing up in Mexico and in Israel for, you know, large amounts of my life, and being in chefs' kitchens who, like in Israel, you know, I worked under a chef who was, you know, French trained, but even though he went to France to learn these techniques, he was using, you know, the Shuk market spices and veggies, and people ask me all the time, do you miss Israel? And I left for a reason. I was ready to come home, but I wish we had those like vibrant, huge markets that are outdoors, but they're an establishment, and it's just such a special feeling. So the mural that we did, kind of, I'm not sure if we can call it a mural art wall, is kind of inspired by that.
Absolutely. I shop for the day. You know, I mean, and a lot, and often, and that's just my mindset of fresh food, artesian food, the story behind it, knowing where it comes from. We lack that a little bit here in the United States. You kind of, people buy for the week. I mean, shoot, some people buy for the month, bulk, right?
Yeah.
Bulk and freeze it and this and that. The mindset of the market mindset, of the fresh foods, of the supporting other people. Bryan, I got to assume that, you know, you're buying some good food. How could you not? You're here at Stanley.
Oh, absolutely, man. Yeah, and I was in New York City for 20 years, and that's a place where people tend to shop by the day, the way that Rocky's talking about. So I sort of live that way now here. You know, I'll swing by Mondo and get a couple things, go to Alita, get a couple of things, pick up a dish here and there.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice to work in food halls. It makes that a lot easier.
Yeah.
But
Don't ever call this a food hall.
No, yeah?
Don't ever do that again.
We got a lot of names. I love shopping that way. I think it's great, and I love the vibrant. I mean, I've been to Israel a few times. I love the vibrancy of markets over there.
Have you really?
I have, actually.
Jeez.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
I'm under-traveled in that sense. I need to get that way in the
My
world.
parents are still there, so.
Really?
Where are they,
Yeah.
Rocky?
They're right outside of Tel Aviv. My dad's a clothing designer. He repurposes vintage jeans, rock T-shirts, and kind of redesigns them, and he has a nice business there. My mom is a lady from Colorado, and she teaches English. My brothers are both in the Army, in the Israeli Army right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're all there. And I've been back for 5 years. We met in Paris and saw each other, but that's the only time I've seen him. I haven't been back to Israel, so I need to do that soon. So you guys need to come with me.
Are you kidding me? Don't even tease in that sense. I love to do that. And the difference is, I mean, pretty stark or what? I mean, what really stands out for you, and culinary-wise?
When it comes to shopping, even in Israel, you know, they're starting to grow that westernized kind of hamster thing, you know, to gather and just like it's going somewhere. And I think maybe that's something we can come back to our roots. Like, there's plenty. And if you didn't get the vegetable you wanted this time, or, you know, whatever it is that's missing, you'll get it next time, and just keep it fresh. Don't let things rot in your fridge. You know, we vacuum seal everything, which gives it some time as well and keeps things kind of clean and neat. I know people are in that mentality to be really sanitary right now, so the vacuum sealing does. I mean, you know, the sous vide vacuum seal is what we use, which was, you know, used in France to cook things. But when you vacuum seal something and take away 99% of the oxygen,
you're good to
the
go.
marinade really gets in the meat.
Yeah.
And you get some more days on it.
Well, you got some spatchcock chicken in there that I've got my eye on for tonight's
We put
dinner.
it aside for you. It was the last one,
no
Dijon herb one.
I'm going to finish before he is. We'll see.
That's right. There's others there, Bryant. You can grab that. What's the agriculture like, though?
So, my parents live in a moshav, which a moshav is kind of a suburb that's surrounded by farmlands. So we had artichoke, pomegranate, citrus, all kinds of things growing around us. We got to take walks with the dogs through the fields. That's where I plan on going back and getting married, is in the fields outside. No venue for me. And I obviously miss a lot more than the shuk out there. It's really, you know, it's gorgeous. I mean...
Does your future husband know this?
He's about to find out.
He might be listening. He's about 100 yards that way.
He's about to find out. Yeah, hey, listen, just broke that.
He'll come along, but his family in Ohio might stomp a few feet about it. But
and as well, you should. I mean, the ladies should get to choose, right?
Yeah.
So you'll get to do that.
We have to finagle our invitations. We just got to
I know.
buddy up
well,
to
I'm
Rocky,
trying to sure it up
so we
right
have
now.
another excuse
That's right.
for a big trip.
Oh my goodness! Unique things that you're going to do, and again, it's Alita now, and you've maybe been to the Juniper Pig, but it's got a brand change and new ownership too. It's all the paperwork signed. No turning back.
The
now?
ink's been dry for a while, thank goodness.
For a while. And so, what can people expect? Are we going to be doing any kind of cool kind of deals? You come in. Can I have a punch card? Because I know I'll be there often. Does that even?
Yes.
Do people do that still? I hope so, because I want to be a frequent one.
When we
Mailing
can gather
list?
again, yes. When we can gather again, I really want to do some destination dinners, kind of like eat in a butcher shop. You know, maybe like I used to do this in Israel with a program called Eat With, where I would get maybe a couple from Australia, an Israeli couple, you know, just like 9-10 people all sitting together and do a chef's table. That was my dream originally, to do in that space. So I hope eventually we can meet again, you know, in larger groups and do something like that.
Bryant, outside is
outside.
abundant.
Oh, we can definitely do that outside. I mean, we're maxed outside 10 people per group. And you've got to be folks you've come with. We communal tables are not allowed right now. but we can do groups of 10 outside. So we could do a Alita dinner.
Oh, man.
In the
Yeah.
field,
We'll promote the
with
hell
some
out of
tents.
it.
I would be, and I'd love to partner up with Mr. Beast to do that, and I'd love to partner up with Pat and Mimi over there.
Do we
and
have some
them
Choluna beer,
decorate.
too?
And Choluna, I mean, Javi's got my heart.
So many
Yeah.
cool
A lot
things.
of collaborations here.
I
A lot of
know. And
potential
it seems
for
like
them
just rebooting and getting back at it and what the future will bring. But, man, the future for Stanley is so bright. I mean, I love this place. Anytime I perk up. I'm going to say, I'm coming with you, type of thing. I love coming here and just highlighting all the great. And you get to know, Brian, I mean, honestly, you get to know each one of the shop's owners and workers very personally, and you want to go visit them and support, and they show you, here's my latest stuff, and it's just so cool. But this is the type of stuff that warms my heart anyway.
I tell you, one of my favorite parts of giving a tour of this place, I give a lot of tours to Stanley, to different groups of folks, is that whenever I'm doing that, we're walking through the marketplace, we see business owners everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's so-and-so, they own, that's Danielle, she owns Stera. That's Pat, he owns Industrial Luxury. That's Rocky, she owns that. That's Rayme, she owns that place. That's Jennifer, she owns Choluna.
Yeah.
It's just everywhere you go. We're a very owner-centric hub for small businesses,
and they all
Colorado small businesses.
They all get their own cult following too, which is really kind of cool. And you see, like Zero Market, every time she posts something on, hundreds of like-minded people.
Totally,
right?
totally.
The zero waste type of people, and you dig into that, and then you see. I don't know what you're doing with your social media. First of all, ask him for tips.
We're working on it.
He's the guy, but you're going to build the same thing. Like-minded people that really, and I'll be number one fanboy. I'll tell you that right now because everything you do is with care. And when you start talking about husbandry of animals, I mean, I'm in. I just start thinking that mindset that came from your folks, right?
That came from losing my parents as a little girl and having to kind of fit into different families, and you kind of learn how to be open, perceptive, put yourself in, other people's positions. And I mean, when you're open to listening and really receiving people, or also, being able to put up a boundary when you need to, I mean, the possibilities are endless in collaboration and learning. When you talked about the zero waste market, I'd love to use their CBD oil and maybe do some olive oil CBD infusions with some beautiful spices. I mean, yeah.
I get my subs from there, and I mix my own oils that I want it to smell like.
Nice.
I get the green. I'm a geek when it comes to that stuff. But
they have you tried their CBD oil? It's like top of the line.
It's the good
amazing
stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, Rocky, I know you got to get back to work,
I do.
Rocky.
Pat doesn't know the menu yet.
So
We're open.
She's open. Go hit her up. Make her busy. That's what I say. Go make her really, really busy.
That was a great idea. I'm going to work on a punch card for people. I know our stuff is, it comes with a lot of heart and love, and we pay, a premium price for a lot of our stuff, but I think I need to reward the people who stay loyal, and I'm definitely going to do a card.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. Influence already.
Raquel Serber, thank you so much for joining
you.
us on the show today. Brian, as we sit here and we talk about community, and you know already that the Modern Eater Show is in love with Stanley Marketplace, and we kind of go way back, though,
we
actually,
love you
right?
guys too, yeah.
Since the game. Remember when we brought Carrie Baird before?
I do.
Any Top Chef fame or anything else?
I remember that well. We hosted one of your shows over in the hangar with Chef Carrie. That's the first time Carrie and I met.
Uh-huh.
And I remember both of us trying to get her to tell us what was going to happen on the season.
Tried to trick her.
She was a vault. No, she was so great.
I know.
But yeah, I get to see her at events and whatnot around town. It's been wonderful to watch her in her career. Yeah, that was years ago, man.
It was. And listen, I don't want to embarrass you, but you've done a great job. You've solidified yourself in this community. And you've mean so much to all of us, but you're working hard to lift up these small businesses. And at a time, it's like you got to double time it now, though.
It's true. I'm not one of those people who had a lot of free time once the pandemic hit. That has not been my experience. Yeah. But it's all for a good purpose. Yeah. And I can say, here at Stanley, we're working really hard to help these businesses stay alive, and that's working so far.
Oh, hey, Stanley.
Oh, hey, Stanley.
That's a pretty much consistent marketing that you have there, right?
Yeah, that's
Instagram.
and I even, my business is called Oh Hey Creative, which sort of grew out of Oh Hey Stanley, and that it's that same sort of vibe, though, personal, relaxed, not too serious, but doing real work when we can.
Real work.
Yeah, man.
Doing good stuff. Okay, you can stick around if you want to. I know you got to jump, too.
I got to talk to this guy?
Yeah, well, put that on there, man. We know you. You've done this before. You hate doing this stuff.
I'm smiling, aren't I?
Well,
it's a smile. It's a big smile, Dave. It's a big smile.
Good to see you, Chef Lewis.
How you doing?
I'm well. How, 8-9 weeks of weirdness, huh?
It's been interesting.
Feels like we're kind
I
of
can't
just...
help but notice that you don't have anything sweet with you.
Oh.
We had that.
I was going to say
talk
facial hair. You got rid of your tab.
Yeah.
I don't think you're looking hard
Has
enough.
it been that
Jay.
long?
Yeah. Yeah, it's hiding.
I think there's stuff there.
I see a couple of sweet things there. What's up with all this? It's art. You make art that's delicious. Am I wrong?
Oh, you're not wrong. People, whenever we'll share anything from Miette, people will be like, "Oh my God, that looks so good to eat," and then immediately somebody will be like, "No, you just eat it. You'll see. You'll eat it. It's beautiful, but it is also delicious. It's so good."
I feel like people just have our stuff on their coffee tables at home and they never eat it. I don't know.
I mean, literally, it looks like it could be wax or something.
I think you might keep it around a little bit longer than you would normally, but then you eat it. I've never not eaten something.
Some of our chocolate stuff, I've heard people. It comes in a plastic box, our holiday stuff, and people hold on to it.
I mean, I took Rodolfo to Peru this December.
Yeah.
I took
we had the hot chocolate reindeer.
Yeah.
There's a 3D
to Peru?
reindeer.
Yeah, to Peru. So we were doing Peru, and we were doing a little family Christmas down there, and I really wanted that hot chocolate on our Christmas day, and so packed it up, took it on the plane, through customs, etc., and it was amazing. Special moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, the nieces loved it.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us about the shop.
We're back open. So that's a positive.
Yeah, but what is it, though? Folks are like, oh, man, you're teasing me, but I don't even know what he does. What does he do? What do you do?
We do a little bit of everything. We're one of the few pastry shops or chocolate shops in town that do pastry and chocolate. So we kind of have a niche little thing I think going for us, which is nice. A lot of people focus just on chocolate or just on pastries. We try and put it all together, give people a wide variety of stuff. But it's nice if people can come in now; they can kind of see what we have to offer. I consider us more of an impulse buy. Like if you're walking by, you see the case, you're like, man, I want that.
What's your best seller? Those macaroons, right?
Our French Macs are a pretty big seller. Our sea salt chocolate chip cookie.
Oh yeah, that thing is unbelievable.
It is.
That thing sells a lot. During this close down period, right out of the gate, we had people buying them just frozen and baking them themselves at home. Even Comida, you can get them with your dinner to go pack from Comida here. You can? You can get our frozen cookie pucks with your dinner.
That's what I like. We keep talking about the COVID takeaway. Some of the creativeness of the people getting together with their businesses, and you get to, buy a few things in a pack, and the CSA stuff that I see too. You guys got pretty creative here as well. You're still doing curbside stuff, aren't you?
Oh yeah,
everybody's doing their curbside. I don't see that going away anytime. I mean, we built an online curbside for people to order, and that's just going to stay. I mean, people love it. They can order ahead of time, schedule their pickup time.
That's one of the ways that this pandemic has sort of forced innovation in a way that I think it's going to last. We've got 15 or so businesses doing takeout business that they weren't doing before.
I think
it was out of necessity.
I think a lot of us wanted to create these websites to do all this, and now we all of a sudden had time to do it. So,
like, where would somebody go to see what we're talking about?
Well, you go to stanleytogo.com, and that will redirect you to a page on the Stanley website, and that's got all the information for all our businesses doing Stanley to Go.
Yeah,
so Miette's on there, Comida,
has links
Annette.
to everybody's websites or their curbside sites.
Oh, there it is. Right
and then
there.
you just see, some businesses prefer you call them on the phone and place your order, but most of them have website components right now. You just sort of go through, see what you want.
Almost everybody built a website out of this whole deal.
in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
This is just a jump page, right? You jump right to, oh, this is
Yep.
great.
And then we just update it whenever people change things. You know, now we're having a few businesses add some new menu items or expand their hours a little bit, or so we update that whenever we get something new going on.
We also have the Stanley Delivers.
Yeah, that's a
new website where kind of encompasses you can order from multiple places at one time and have it all delivered.
Yep, and that's a new venture. There are probably 10 or 12 businesses on there right now, but eventually there'll be 2 or 3 times that.
I mean, you can order retail and food on the same website and have it delivered.
Holy cow. You guys just really do it. You do it right. As far as, I think I say it right. You want me to try?
Yeah, well, just give it a whirl.
Miette Et Chocolat.
I think you like to say it.
I do
Honestly,
like to
you
say
do. Like, you sit at home on your patio
Miette Et Chocolat.
and practice, don't you?
Was that it? Somewhere close?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, all right. Where do you come up with your recipes and your ideas? I mean, I know a few of the cookie, obviously, but some of your stuff's very unique.
It's.
What were
just
those things last
following-
time we were here? What was it? Valentine's Day, right?
Yeah.
You were making them in the back room, and you were putting a layer of this and a layer of that, and then what was that? And then dipping it, and then had to have been 10,000 calories.
I don't know. The cookie, was it like a big cookie?
It's a big, and then dipped, and then
So that's an alfajor.
smeared.
It's a traditional Argentinian cookie.
Mhm.
So it's 2 chocolate cookies, dulce de leche in the middle, and then we dip it in dark chocolate.
of course.
The one we do is an Argentinian style. Gonzo, my business partner, he's from Argentina. We also do them for all the Maria Empanadas in town. So
That is it.
yeah. So
Boy, you went through a million of those.
We go through a lot of them with everybody that buys
Seasonal.
them, so.
Did the sweets change seasonally?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So what summer when it gets a little warmer? The lighter fare, more of the fruitier
Yeah,
type of thing.
Actually, I brought a couple of fruitier desserts
Did
for
you?
you.
All right, key lime.
Look at that.
Key lime I had last night. Everybody loves a good key lime.
I had the tiramisu last week.
We try and follow the seasonal stuff as much as we can.
Sure.
Where rhubarb's it's kind of bummer. Rhubarb's kind of not out, but getting towards the end. Now we're going to work on, Colorado. We're getting 3 different varieties of cherries coming up. And the next month is the new season. Mm-hmm. Then we'll see how the peach season is, and they took a little bit of a hit.
Did.
So
they did.
hopefully we can get some nice fresh.
We need
Colorado
our peaches.
Fingers crossed.
We need our peaches.
Definitely.
It's a favorite of mine too. Gosh, every place. Can we put condominiums above? Can we build up here?
Well,
Brian?
why, yes, we can. Now that you mention that, we are doing that. Not on top of the building. We
Okay.
cannot do on top of the building. We actually have
don't let
plans
the
for a
secret out,
rooftop,
man.
but that wouldn't work quite yet. But over there on the south side of our building, there are 2 lots right now that will eventually be apartments.
Oh, you ask, you shall receive.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
I think they'll go pretty fast.
This is the spot, and
That's my
then we
hunch.
get back into events when we can do events again. Oh, look at these.
Look at these. I'm photographing
Oh,
them right
yeah.
away.
Yeah.
So Chicken
Good
Fight
idea.
was here last year, but not no chicken.
Chicken Fight, Chicken
Was it
Fight hasn't
Chicken-
been here.
No, it
Chicken
was
Fight
Top
hasn't
Taco.
been here.
It was
Top
Top
Taco,
Taco,
Denver
Burger
Burger Battle, and Truck Stop are all our 3 biggest summer experiences. And we're still waiting for official word about those things. Those are events with 5,000 people, so it's difficult to
Right.
imagine them happening right now. Right now, they wouldn't be allowed to happen.
I think it could be done. Right? I mean, you social distancing, a huge wide open space.
I mean, if anywhere can do it, I'd imagine it
Yeah.
would be here because we have
The
a
field could
7-acre
do it, yeah.
field. I think
You probably
the
don't want to take that
producers-
chance,
Well,
though, right?
if you're a producer of that event, part of the fun of those events is that you're in this space with
Yeah.
all these people from
It's
all these
about
different places.
it's about mingling.
like a party.
Yeah, it's
And
definitely mingling. So
I think it would be really different trying to do way scale. Yeah, look at that.
What the hell
Isn't that
is that?
incredible?
that's our tropical. So we have
This isn't.
we have a pineapple, banana, passion fruit compote in the center.
Oh, my
And then
goodness.
it's passion fruit mango mousse, and then a mango vanilla bean glaze, and then that's a coconut de croix cake in the tart shell there.
Of course it
Coconut
is.
de croix cake.
Yes.
Listen to that.
Oh my goodness, man! Oh, and so where do you start with building something like that? Just go from the beginning. Where do you start?
Oh, it gets
and we've got
better.
more food.
Oh boy,
It
we're
gets
just getting
better.
rowdy. Man, I wouldn't eat lunch if I known we were doing this.
You got to come hungry. What do we have here, Chef?
Can I talk about it?
Please.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. What do we have for a headset here?
That's fine.
Do you want to?
No, please. I want you to talk
You
about
want me
it.
to take off?
Here. Hey, Rayme, you can just stand next to me.
Yeah, point that outward. Perfect. That's great.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. Yeah, so I just wanted to bring out a couple of things. I'll bring out another side plate and another roll-up as well, please. So this is our mushroom and fresh spinach quesadilla with our 3-cheese blend. It's got a little Comida salsa on the side. Nice vegetarian option. Not vegan, obviously, because it is covered with house crema. Thank you very much. And some share plates for everybody. And then this is new. We're doing chicken enchiladas with a ranchero sauce and our pickled onions with a little microgreens from Mile High Microgreens. And then black beans and rice. Yeah.
It's nice to have something plated again, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
to go plate.
putting that in something to go is, but that's it. That does it justice. And
Well,
that
and we weren't doing hot food to go most of this time. We were doing heat and eat.
Gotcha.
So everything was made in a way that you could just take it home and really put it in your oven whenever you were ready to eat it.
Oh, fantastic.
I had these at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were great. We
Delicious.
tried to plate them the way that Comida would. We didn't have the great microgreens, but that,
Yeah.
still looked pretty good.
Cool.
Yep, and delicious as always.
And this is ready to go, open for business. So folks can call or ahead to get reservations to get
You
in
can
here.
either go online to Open Table or to our website at ecomida.com. Make your reservation that way. Yep.
I'd go direct, do it. They're ready. The
Or
kitchen.
they can certainly call the restaurant and make a reservation as well.
Yeah, what's the
We're good.
number?
It's 303-484-1632.
Oh, awesome. Thanks for bringing this out.
You're welcome.
Gosh, we're going to destroy this when we get a moment to actually be able to do that. There it is, my friend, over there. Jake, can you say the name of his chocolate pastry shop?
That's an important part of that. Is
Starting out that way?
You start out with a little because it's Miette Et Chocolat.
I think I did.
man,
Was that good?
Had some.
Maybe
had
he's the
some
one that
flair
said
Let's
to
hear
it.
you
correct.
say it.
Yeah.
Let's hear you say
I'm
it.
good.
You don't even know how to.
I don't. I forgot. No.
You're great, man. One of our favorites, man, and I love catching up with you. All's well? How's the family?
Great. Wife and kid are good.
Good. Man cave finished?
Yeah.
Finished paving the driveway?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Lots of yard work got done.
I'll bet you got a lot of
Yeah.
stuff done. That's right. Oh, my goodness. Okay, thanks for joining us, Dave.
Yeah. All right. Have a good
stuff. Don't take that anywhere.
Oh.
Leave this here.
one. Okay. Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm just kidding. Do whatever you want with it. As we continue on from the Stanley Marketplace, again, please look it up. sophiesneighborhood.org. MCTO is the name of the degenerative bone disease. What a touching story that was, Bryant. Huh?
Great story. Yeah, we're sharing some of that information on our Stanley channels
Are
just
you?
to help. Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
Of course.
That's fantastic.
One of my favorite things about the Colorado food community is that it's a really tight-knit, genuine community. And we've seen tons of examples of that in the past couple months of different restaurateurs and chefs coming together for greater good causes, help each other out. I love that. I'm inspired by it all the time.
Yeah, got a message in. Ask Brian, what's up with Broadway?
Oh, nice. That's a great question. Thanks for asking. We are getting ready to reopen. We will reopen for takeout and delivery to start.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And don't have an exact date yet, but could be as soon as June 8th, which is about a week away. A week or so away. Pretty soon.
Yeah.
But we'll know for sure soon. Hard to make the inside of that place work really well
Right.
at 50% capacity, and that place is designed as a sort of social gathering spot,
For
mingling, et cetera, inside. So we're going to start with curbside pickup and see how that goes. Talking to the city about using that parking lot over there as some possible outdoor dining, like a lot of places are doing in Denver, especially. So ask me again in a few days. I'm sure I'll be giving you a call.
Who's on board?
Letting you know.
As far
That's
as
a great
food?
question too.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna start with a smaller single menu. So we'll
Okay.
have 2 or 3 items from a bunch of different places inside.
Gotcha.
Chef Jesus really well.
Yeah.
He's taking the lead on that, putting that together.
Nice.
Making sure, like you were saying earlier, when you suddenly shift to this delivery or curbside pickup system. There are a lot of things you didn't normally pay attention to, like how are you going to package all that stuff, and how do you make sure the meals you're serving are going to keep in the 15 or 20 or 30 minutes it takes to get home. And so we've been figuring out all that stuff.
Yeah, never a dull moment.
Oh man, it's been bananas. It's been bananas. But it's nice to see. It's nice to see people coming back online, and you know, nice to see folks figuring it out.
It's good to be back out here. I mean, listen, do yourself a favor. And if you're somebody who doesn't like crowds and really didn't like to go out beforehand because you were worried about, you know, just being around too many people, come out now.
Yeah, this is a great time to do it. I mean, this is really open. We got all the doors and windows of the whole marketplace open, so there's some really nice airflow. We have 30-foot ceiling, so it feels kind of airy in here anyway. And then, you know, we're thinking of it as sort of a slow reopening. So it's really nice and not too crowded, and we got all that outdoor space too.
Was there any attrition here?
We have one business that's not returning. It's Stanley Arcade.
Okay.
Really
for
difficult.
Obvious reasons.
Well,
right?
yeah, you can't social distance in an arcade like that with their setup. It's just not really possible. And maybe we'll work with them one day again, you know?
Yeah.
It's just really hard to run that business the way you always do in the sort of conditions we're living in right now.
I think walking, my heart was warm to see, and it's a testament to the leaders here at Stanley and everybody involved in the management, but to see a lot of it, all of it intact.
Yeah.
Wow, it's like coming out of a hurricane and you open the doors and goes, what's left? And you're like, wow, what a surprise. Everything's still here.
I was really, something we tried really hard to do whatever we could to make that possible for our businesses. And, you know, as soon as this, even before we officially shut down, we started meeting once a week with those folks to make sure we were always talking and helping each other through, you know, PPP and all the other relief programs. And, we figured very early on that it would be easier if we were doing it together.
Yeah.
So,
what do you think? Light at the end of the tunnel?
I mean, I'm always optimistic by nature, but it's the past couple of days especially, I've felt that way. Yeah. I mean, you know, just looking around, seeing these folks here in Comida.
It doesn't seem weird to me. It just doesn't. And again, trust your instincts. Trust yourself. Be safe. Take your safety into your own hands. Wear your mask. Wash your hands.
Yeah, and we know, you know, not everybody's comfortable coming to a restaurant now. That's cool, dude.
Hey, stick around for this. Is a cool story, man. This dude right here.
I'm ready.
Boy, he lit some folks up. Jay, set up this story because it's pretty cool.
Yeah, man. So I was on social media the other day just, you know, doing surfing, and I saw a post from Davin from Liquid Mechanics, and he was talking a little bit about his frustration with the folks coming out and not obeying what the rules are.
Not being
now,
respectful,
right?
and you called them asshats. I loved it. Yeah. Tell us about the asshats, man, and what they were doing and how you lit them up.
Yeah, so I think the post went a little bit, I think it got out there quite a bit more than we expected, but I think it kind of reflected what a lot of us in the service industry are dealing with right now. First off, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. I'm having a little trouble hearing you, so I'll do my best. So, you know, in a given year at Liquid Mechanics, we might have, I don't know, 10 people that come in that are just uncool people. But when we started takeout service and the county of Boulder and the city that we're in, Lafayette, required face coverings to come into the brewery, you know, we posted that on our doors. But it became almost like a daily occurrence, and sometimes more than that, of people just like not wanting to follow the rules. And we were cool. We were like, if you don't have a mask, pull your shirt up. If you still can't do that, or you can't wear a mask, and that's a thing, you know, due to a disability or something, call a tasting room. We'll bring it out to your car. These are people that simply chose to like pick a fight. And our staff members have been berated, cussed at. You know, some people would come in and we'd tell them about the mask rule, and they'd, you know, walk out flipping us the bird or muttering obscenities. And I kind of just got fed up. You know, my job is to kind of try to protect our staff, and that was my way to do it. And I kind of just went over all of the rules that we have here at Liquid Mechanics, some of which we don't agree with, right? And but they are rules to keep us in business and keep people safe. And I think that resonated with a lot of people.
I think you're absolutely right. So the tone of the conversation was look, we want to respect our business and inside. And when you come inside of our business, respect what we have to do to maintain our safety, our employees' safety, and to keep us in business. I mean, that's paramount. Protect the business. And folks, and again, this is where we're leaving it up to everybody as you watch this stream and other media coverage. Right now, it's more important than ever to play by the rules, because the minute that we don't, or we're seen in a bad light, or God forbid there is an outbreak in your business, it can cause irreversible harm.
Absolutely.
And so for folks to blatantly disrespect the business right now, it's just, there's no room for it as far as I'm concerned. You may not agree with it, but walk your buns the other direction. Right?
Stay home right now. If you don't agree with it, stay home. Go somewhere else.
Or go somewhere else. But, you
guys are being so nice.
All right, Jay.
I mean, listen, I talked to Davin earlier, and not only is it ridiculous, but it's ridiculous all the time, right? For somebody, so they have they're allowed to have dogs in their brewery, right? Davin asks, yes, you can have your dog in the brewery, but put your dog on a leash, right? That's our rule, which is a great rule, by the way. We all know dogs, and when there's multiple dogs and everything like that. And he's getting pushed back from that now, too. And then maybe it's the frustration of everybody. But it's just in general, I get frustrated with people like that, because you don't have to like it, and you don't have to agree with it, regardless of pandemic or not. If your dress code is you can't wear hats into my restaurant because I'm a restaurant owner and I decide that that's what I want to do, you can hate it, you can do whatever you want, go somewhere else. But what you can't do is you can't disrespect the people that are on the inside, especially when the rules are completely normal, right, and logical, especially during a pandemic. But at any time, even if it's nothing's happening and you say you can't wear red shoes in my bar, right, which is obviously ridiculous. But if that were the case, you just say okay and you go on your merry way. But you don't disrespect people. You don't stiff people. I mean, people were not tipping because they're saying you have to wear a face cover when you come in. Yep. I told Davin earlier, I said, I want to punch people in the face for you, and I don't have anything to do with liquid mechanics. But I want to go in there. I want to be the nose puncher and just point, this guy didn't tip and yelled at us because of face mask. But I give him one little shot to the chops.
Jay's ready for you. He'll be right down.
Yeah, it's you're hired.
You got a bouncer.
That's right. We're at Stanley Marketplace today, and obviously it's honor system, and you'll see all types, right? You'll probably encounter all types. But listen, okay, it's Davin or Gavin? Davin?
D with a D, dog.
Davin.
Yep.
I like it. Davin. I like that name. True or false? Customer's always right. False, man. False.
That's false. That's false.
And it's that mentality, it's that mentality of where people think that because they got a couple of bucks and you've got a product to sell that you're just going to give in to them. And I mean, that's not the case right now.
We reserve the right to refuse service to anybody. We serve alcohol, right? We're trying to do the best. We want to be inclusive. Not a political statement on our part. It's just follow the rules to get the fuck out.
Something like that, sure. Yeah.
I should put that on the sign.
Yeah, that's right.
Forgot to ask if I can cuss.
You are absolutely fine. It's okay. Get the 5 times out of here. That's how we want you to leave.
Yeah, just don't string like 7 things together.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Like Javi did that one time.
I remember that well.
I remember that well. And listen, we're amongst friends, that's for sure. Service industry, obviously, nobody said it was easy, wouldn't sign up for it. Okay, Liquid Mechanics, thanks for coming on, first of all, but tell us about your business and how we can support you, too. I love your beer, by the way.
Takeout beer right now is always the best thing. We still encourage that due to what's still going on. We are, as of today, open for sit-down seating, but to militia members only. That is kind of a mug club that we have, and we're treating it as a soft opening, and so far that's going really well today. If you guys would like, in a few seconds, I can walk you around if you'd like.
Oh, yeah, show us around here real quick.
Yeah, okay. Tomorrow we're opening that's Saturday, opening to the general public at 1. for sit-down service and takeout. Again, highly recommend takeout. If you come in for sit-down, there are a shit ton of rules. They're posted everywhere. We'll tell you about them. If you can't follow them, go home. Let me turn my phone around real quick.
So refreshing.
Here, leaving my table. So I don't have my mask on because masks aren't allowed at the table that you're sitting at. So I'm going to leave, put my mask on. My staff is going to come clean this table that I was sitting at. Let's take a little tour.
Yeah, let's take a little tour. Get rid of that beer.
We get a slug in here before we start walking.
That's right. Get the mask on. He's got the same type I have on. Do you provide masks for folks that may have forgotten?
We do have masks available. Yeah. Have I switched yet?
You've switched.
There, you did for a second.
Yep.
There we go.
You're there.
So if you can still hear me, we're in the barrel room right now. What's up, guys? These are some militia members. This barrel room usually sits 40 people with a fire code of 58. We age barrels in here. It's been decimated. Not too many tables, but it's kind of a cozy place to go. I have no idea what to expect here.
Okay.
So here. One person at a time. Yell quack, quack. Person will respond, call, call.
Amazing.
So this is the main tasting room. We've removed the majority of the tables in here for people to stand on the dots to get beer. And all the tables ended up just moving out to the patio. It's going to get loud here. We got a big highway.
No problem.
And
nice
people are just
space.
hanging out.
Very nice space.
Great patio.
I've gotten to a point where I can't hear you at all, so I'm just going to keep walking until I get to a quiet spot.
Oh, wow. Look at this, Brian.
Oh, parking lot.
People are enjoying the outdoor space. You know, the governor and the state of Colorado and our city are hoping that people can choose to do kind of outdoor seating when possible. I think that we've done that.
Yeah.
And I think so far people have been extremely respectful, and we're looking forward to opening to the general public tomorrow.
That's awesome. That's awesome to see. That's awesome to see. And thank you for the tour. I don't know whether you can hear us or not right now, but go up.
I can hear you.
Oh, you can? Go over there, and I want to see the beer board. I want to see what's what flavors you got on tap right now. Are you a beer fan, Bryant?
I like beer.
You like beer?
I do. I do like
too.
beer.
Oh, yeah. Have you had a liquid mechanics beer?
I haven't actually, but I'm going to put it on my list. I'd like to try that dark foreboding. That's up my alley.
So all of that stuff is available for, let's see.
What a cool brewery.
I know.
All that stuff is available for takeout, so crowlers and growlers to go, as well as now pints and glassware. We've got a commercial dishwasher. It runs at a sanitization cycle at 180 degrees, and that's what we're doing, guys.
Dang.
It's great.
Keep that fire, Davin. Keep that fire and keep it lit up, man. Liquid Mechanics. Go support your local breweries. They need that more than ever right now. Thanks for letting us catch up with you.
Don't be a dick.
Yeah, right. He's a colorful dude.
My guy.
Yeah.
That's my guy. We can't have him on the radio show, obviously.
Yeah. Thanks, brother. We'll catch up soon.
All right. Take care. I'm off.
All right.
Take care.
See you. Bye. All kinds, man. That's what we've been doing, Brian, is just kind of showing people what's going on around town and the state. And
I love what he said. I think it's so important right now. Just, I'm not going to repeat it in his way, but I thought that was very powerful.
I know.
He does it in a colorful way. But listen, Greg, all jokes aside, and you know me, and I know that I'm me, and I hate everything and everyone and all that. But seriously.
What?
It's a serious thing that these people are disrespecting the service industry when they're just following the rules, right? So I'll actually, if you're drunk, I'll give you more credit because you're not thinking, like that. But if you're a sober person and you're saying that and you're disrespecting, or you would ever fathom the idea of not tipping a bartender or a server because the rule is you have to wear a face mask and you put up static and they said, hey, man, you got to have it on, and you actually not tip for that, man? I mean, I don't know. That's a tough one, man.
I like what Davin said. This is not, most of the small businesses enforcing these rules, they're not doing it for political reasons. They're doing it to keep their employees safe. And that's what matters to us the most.
families, employees, protect the cheese.
100%.
Absolutely. What do we have up next, Jay?
Should be Larry Herz.
Larry Herz is coming up next. We'll play a couple of commercial spots, and I got to thank you for joining us.
Oh,
here
thanks,
today.
man. I always love talking to you guys. Love it when you come to Stanley.
Tomorrow, back at Studio Kitchen, Colorado, Jesus is going to come join us with his mother.
You know I love that guy.
They're going to do tortillas from scratch, I believe, and we're going to have a good time in the kitchen, but we'll be talking to Jesus tomorrow.
Awesome.
Were you coming down?
I might try to make it tomorrow.
Okay. That'd be cool. If you can. If not, no problem. We're gonna eat if you want to.
You ever cook with sunflower oil?
I don't cook with sunflower
Listen,
oil.
man,
Should I do
I'm
it?
about to change your life.
Okay.
Colorado Mills sunflower products.
Okay.
Oh, we ought to bring some with us when we're on the road. But tomorrow, definitely, if you come by, we'll change your
Colorado
life.
Mills.
Colorado Mills.
Okay, you
well,
got it.
let's listen to Zach Kreider from Colorado Mills.
Hey, it's Zach, Colorado Mills. Many of you use this oil. Thank you. You're supporting a family-owned, farmer-owned, woman-owned company that supports 120 farms in southeast Colorado to grow the crop so we can produce this oil. So thank you. It's summertime. It's time for salads. It's time for dressings. Use this instead of extra virgin olive oil. It's got a cleaner profile. It's a healthier profile. It allows the herbs, the spices, the vinegars to really shine. So you can find it at Shamrock Foods, What Chefs Want, and Seattle Fish. Thank you very much.
Hey guys, it's Rebecca Berry with Hot Schedules powered by Fourth here. And you know what they say, if you can't take the heat, then you should get out of the kitchen. But with Hot Schedules powered by Fourth, we want you in the kitchen while we put out those fires. With Hot Schedules, we help to mitigate risk with HR, payroll, and tax compliance solutions so you can continue to put those plates on the table for your guests. Today's a big day. We're reopening, so call me. Rebecca.berry@fourth.com. That's Rebecca.berry@fourth.com. With Hot Schedules by Fourth, we've got you covered.
Okay, we're back, and Rayme's going to join us again. What a treat. That's fantastic. We're here live from Stanley Marketplace, and as we're standing by for Larry Herz, and then we'll catch up with Dr. Sara Metz, too. It's kind of just a mellow day in the Mile High City, and we're on the outskirts of Aurora. You don't know whether you're in Aurora or you're in Denver, but it's just right on the border of Aurora, and you're just fine. Perfect. Cool. But what a day just to show you around Stanley Marketplace. And there he is. Larry Herz joins us. And Larry, I know, where's Larry? There he is. Hey, Larry, we're at Stanley Marketplace right now. To be exact, we're at Comida. Have you met Rayme? What is he doing? You can't hear. He's trying to hear.
He's got to set up his audio.
That's okay. Me and Rayme will talk for a second. I want to. He'll be able to hear us, but I can hear. Oh no, can't hear you, Rayme. We'll get your microphone. There it is. Now it's unmuted.
Okay.
Cool. Just getting going again, but the food is delicious and ready to go.
Yeah.
People are. Let me get that out of your way there.
Sure.
Perfect. Fantastic. What a day. And we're showing folks around. I've been getting emails coming in, and again, they're asking, okay, can we come in and eat, dine in? Yes, they can.
Yes,
okay.
they can.
And again,
they can also still order carry out. They can order our heat and eat meals to go, family dinners. They can order hot food by walking up to the window. We're in any way possible that people would like to take and eat Comida, we're down for it.
Ready to go.
We're ready to serve them.
I'm fascinated with your glasses. I love them.
Thanks.
Those are
Appreciate it.
perfect glasses.
Thank you.
I'm in the market for some. I don't think I could pull off the big rims. Like
Yeah.
probably thin rims.
You could just got to go try on a bunch.
I think you're right. Standing by for Larry Herz. So Larry is a restaurant promoter, and he gives us the openings and the closings of the day.
Yeah.
So we'll go through some openings and closing. The 12 Madison, that broke my heart.
11
when I
Madison
saw-
Park.
No, 12 Madison, Jeff Osaka's place in Congress Park closed down.
That's a bummer.
I know.
Wow.
Jeez.
Today?
You announced it about a day and a half ago.
I was really sad that Bijou's little curry shop closed. That hurt me.
And what a great product he has.
Yeah.
Just fantastic product. People are reaching out, and I don't know if it's going to be possible, but some of these folks that are either changing their restaurant style or going to migrate onto a different location or just change it altogether, that there might be an opportunity for some different pop-ups to keep the brand alive and in one building there. So some folks are looking at how can they do that, but right now as restaurants are just trying to struggle to navigate their way through, half capacity and what the bar. I mean, listen, on a beautiful day like this, your bar would have folks.
We'd be packed.
Filled. right? Yeah.
You bet.
What do you do with that? I mean,
Well, you don't look in the past.
Yeah.
We can't live there
Can't cry
because it's
over
over.
spilled milk. Yeah.
Right. So we got to look to the future,
Move forward.
or hopefully not even the future. You got to just be right here, right now.
In the present.
And I mean, we have people in here. We've got things for all of us to do.
Mhm.
I said this to you the other day. They can all make some money. I may not be making any money.
Mhm.
And for how long I can do that is probably as long as the PPP and
Larry's
everything
here.
else lasts.
Am I here?
Yes, you are.
Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. A little.
Is this thing on?
Yes,
Wow.
it is. And no, you are not at the Golden Gate, are you?
No.
No. Larry Herz joins us, and we do restaurants open. There's the door to the office, and there's the window to the office, too. Green screen behind you. Everybody playing with these Zoom rooms. We were just lamenting over, well, actually, I was. Rayme's not. She's like, I just take day to day on what I can control.
Yep.
Smart, right? And a lot of people are taking that same philosophy. But as we look forward to restaurants reopening, do we have a list for today? It's so hard to keep track right now, isn't it, Larry?
It comes fast and furious. I actually have an article which gets updated at least once a day on ourcommunitynow.com. In case you didn't know, that's what OCN stands for. So go to ourcommunitynow.com. On the homepage, you can find all the latest restaurants that are open. I can tell you who opened today if you want.
I would love that.
Some of it's very late breaking news.
Okay.
I just got a DM from Troy. He's opening up both Los Chingones, Rhino, and DTC.
I had to wonder. I thought that those would be
That's
the
great.
first.
Today?
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Cool.
Wait, let me see. no, you got me. I think he said today. He said, come in this weekend. What did he say? Oh, it's too much.
Today or tomorrow.
No.
Take
Opening
your time, Larry.
today.
Awesome.
Today. He said, come in tomorrow. Yeah, so there's a good one right here by me and DTC. I love that one. But not the one at Colorado Mills.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Okay. Marco's Coal Fired Pizza, both open today. Yaya's reopened today. Uno Mas, both reopened. Choppers today. Someplace called Comida. I don't know what that is. Chicken Rebel reopened today. One of the best chicken sandwiches ever. Le French at Bellevue Station, right next to Los Chingones. Those ladies are amazing.
I haven't been there.
Have you heard anything about their story?
No.
So these are ladies, I think they're sisters from Somalia, who then ended up in France and worked like at a Michelin star restaurant, French, and opened up in the DTC at Bellevue Station, and the place is phenomenal. Their croissants are as good as anything I've had in France. And they do all their French classics, and so they reopened today. Park Tavern reopened today, and Machete.
Right on.
In Cherry Creek. Open.
Cherry Crickets, both are open.
Machete's
today.
got a cool patio.
This is the one on Colfax. I don't know if the other one downtown is open. I bet it is.
Cherry Cricket's open, you said?
Yeah, I think it is. And then I got an interesting email today from, see if I can pull this up while I'm here with you, about Ghost Kitchen.
I did too. That's interesting.
You did that chef ready?
Uh-huh. 12 spaces, right? Is that what it is? 12 spaces?
10. But that was going to be the future before COVID anyway.
Yeah, I was kind of talking to you a little bit about that, of maybe some restaurants that...
Pop-ups.
Yeah, to continue on with the pop-ups. Is that what the plan is for the Ghost Kitchens? Pop-ups?
Well, I never really thought of it as pop-ups. But yeah, I guess that's not... I don't know, because to me a pop-up is like one day of a week or maybe 1 month.
Yeah.
I guess a pop-up could be... To me, this thing is more like a long-term play, really. But yeah, it's just a way to escape brick and mortar and all the expenses having to do with it. And you could be in a really bad neighborhood and have low rent because nobody comes there. And the surprising thing is that they're going to be able to deliver alcohol, too.
So they have a liquor license. Interesting.
I don't know.
Where's the location of that? I thought I saw it somewhere in Rhino. Is that correct? No.
Yeah, it could. I'll tell you, but it doesn't really matter where it is because nobody's
it's a ghost
going there.
kitchen. You're not going
Flat Park neighborhood.
Well, it's interesting, as restaurant operators, chefs figured out how to survive during COVID, and they actually found a viable. You talk to Kelly Whitaker, and he looks around in his dining room, and he goes, "I'm doing pretty good actually right now as I shifted, and I'm working with Talk, and I'm having people order their meals a day ahead of time, and they're sold out for that day. I know exactly what my food costs are going to be. I waste nothing." And he looks around his dining. He's like, "This is a business in itself.
Yeah.
How do I continue doing that?" As we look at dining rooms, a scary proposition, but you put together a to-go business like instantly, right? Quickly.
Yeah. Well, we took the first 3 weeks off. Yeah, after COVID, closed us down, and then we reopened with to-go stuff. And, yeah, and it definitely worked.
A lot of folks out there might want to do that ghost kitchen thing. I think it's scary. I actually think that if and when a vaccine, they say fall, who knows? I mean, that's an interesting. You say no. Everybody has an opinion on that, but
not possible. It's not physically possible to have a vaccine that quickly, especially for 300 million people.
So what we're looking at, the new norm, is probably going to stick around for a while. You're probably looking at your business of a year at a time. What are you looking at right now as far as the way things are right now? How long do you anticipate it to be this way?
I mean, again, I'm not a big projector, so
yeah.
We're here right now. We're doing it. We're doing it until it changes.
That fascinates me about you.
And then I don't. Yeah,
I know. This is what I got.
That's how it works.
Yeah. That's so very logical, too. I need to start thinking like that.
There's no way to plan.
There isn't. Everything changes. Right.
It changes. It's so just every day.
Do the best you can every day and let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah.
Get it? Chips fall where they may.
I love, chips. They fall all the time.
Oh, my goodness. I'll tell you what, as we've been out the past, so we've been broadcasting all week long. Out on the road, and we're going to continue to until we go do our agricultural road trip from the 17th to the 27th. We go head out and do a loop in Colorado and hit farms and ranches.
That's cool.
And breweries, distilleries. Just keep
Greg, guess who visited me today and told me to say hi to you?
Well, that's probably...
Somebody you visit on your road trip. And
is it a ranch or a farm?
It's a winery.
It's a winery in Palisade?
Yeah.
Okay, and really, there's a couple of wineries. All right, I don't want to because there's like two. I don't. Who is
he brought me a little bit of everything. He's got I think it's called Sparklet. It's a sparkling rosé, Sauvage Winery.
Yeah. Okay, who was it though? The son or the father? What's his name?
I don't think it's either. I think it's a new employee.
A new employee. Gosh, I don't know who that is.
He says he's like a partner of theirs. He used to work for Craig Carboy in Breckenridge.
Aha! All right, I got you. I know exactly who you're talking about. Carboy Winery. I actually saw Craig yesterday. He was talking about tip credits. He's all up in arms about tip credits right now.
Why? What's wrong now with tip credits?
I don't want to give it away. He told me, Greg, will you dig around in this a little bit? I feel like I'm beating my head up against the wall, but tip credits is going to be a big conversations between restaurateurs and operators right now. And it's the amount of money that it is. But I'll share it with you soon. But
okay. The kid's name was Patrick.
Yeah, Patrick. I do know who you're talking about.
And they're all in the fridge in about, let's see, I'm done with you in 17 minutes.
Where'd you see him at?
He came to the office and brought me his wine.
Oh, fantastic. That's cool.
Yeah.
My computer's not operable, so I'm not going to be able to show what's for lunch today.
What?
I know, isn't that terrible? I don't know.
Let me tell you about it because it was shockingly
good.
I
watched it.
Oh, okay.
So every day Larry does a what's for lunch, and they come to his office and they bring.
And yes, Rayme, you're invited.
Oh, I would love that. Right on. We just show up with food.
Yes.
Well,
he's scheduled.
Yes, but I'll put you on the calendar. It's 10 minutes of your time.
Oh, I'd be honored. That'd be awesome.
You bring me lunch, and we have the largest social media reach in Colorado, and
cool.
We broadcast you on all those channels.
Thank you.
He shows people what's for lunch. Okay, Larry, what was for lunch today?
So I've been seeing their posts on Instagram, and that's why I invited them. I knew they had just recently opened, figured they needed the help, and it's called Tessa Delicatessen in Park Hill.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, I don't know. I just thought it would just be simple, you know, sandwiches. No, this dude is legit. This place could be and should be like everywhere. He does it right. He's using Michael Bortz's bread. So, you know, of course, breads and spreads. And he's using Justin's meat. You can't go wrong already. And then he's got so many places. Like I hate Subway and Jimmy John's. It's just there's no love in the food.
It's not artesian. No.
There's no passion. It's just so slapped together. Mm-hmm. And he puts so much effort into each sandwich. He brought me a pastrami Reuben. You know, he brought me a turkey sandwich. He brought me a breakfast sandwich that was on a pretzel bun. He does sticky ribs. He's open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And they were all fantastic. And he's passionate, interesting guy. And he's in Park Hill on Colfax. And I'm sure that neighborhood loves him. And he's got a decent-sized space, and he does have dine-in. So that's reopened now for dine-in. It was a good episode, actually. It went longer than normal because this guy had a lot to say, and he was very interesting.
Well, yesterday we did your episode on the Modern Eater Show. We let you lead the show with that. It was that was actually fun. We ought to do that once a month or something like that. Just lead with that. But I always hate to hear it. Any closings, Larry? Good. We'll leave it there. I like that. I
did publish on my article today on OCN. I did publish all the closings because I think people have forgotten them all already. You know, there were plenty at the beginning of the year, even before this happened, and there was going to be plenty because of several factors. But I think I blame it on well, I'm not going to get political anyway. But there was going to be plenty this year anyway, and that's what you're seeing. The thing that people keep forgetting about is, what happens in the fall when people lose these patios. Then what happens?
We don't worry about that, Rayme and I. We worry about what we can control today, Larry.
Yeah.
Isn't that right?
But even the, I talked to, I didn't tell you, like, the steakhouses have reopened. Shanahan's has reopened. Ocean Prime. So these are 200, 300-seat restaurants with 50 people in them. Yeah. Like, of course, they're booked every night at 50 people, but how weird is it going to feel in there, the energy?
I'm going to go
check it out. So
much
of a restaurant is energy.
I'm going to check it out, see what it is. Speaking of energy, we got good energy that entered the room. So, Rayme, this is Dr. Sara Metz. I don't know whether you've met her.
Doctor.
Hello there, everybody.
So, Doctor is her business is Code 4 Counseling, and she works with first responders, and she works with folks, police and medical, and just real high stress level jobs, right, Doc? And she has joined us in the service industry through the Colorado Restaurant Foundation, and Mary Mino introduced Doctor to us. But now she's ours. We're not letting you go or sending you back around. But she first of all counsels Larry all the time.
Oh, Larry. Larry's my star client. Look at how happy he is. We fixed him all up.
Thank you so much.
But so there it is. She joins us at the end of the show.
Awesome.
Most days that she can join us, and we just ask her questions about how we're feeling for the day. So here it is. Rayme actually schooled me today.
Ooh.
So this is Rayme.
Hi. I feel like I've seen you speak before. Did you speak at the CRA?
I did.
Yeah, last year. Yeah, it's great.
Yes.
It's nice to see you again.
It's nice to see you.
She said, Greg, she says to me, Greg, I ask her questions like, well, what do you see in the future and what's in your crystal ball? You know how I am. Like, what's next? She's like, what's next is today. Today is what's next.
I like that answer. Yeah, stop looking around the corner. You don't know what's around the corner. So be patient in whatever space you're in. So many people, and that's honestly, I've had that conversation over and over again today, this week, this month, this year, is so many people want it to go away. I don't want to feel uncomfortable anymore. I want to turn the corner and not feel uncomfortable. Well, we don't know what's around the corner, so just figure out how to manage being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's not that you have to like it, it's just that you have to learn how to tolerate that. And I think that that's what we're trying to help people realize is be in your space, be in the moment, be in right now. Plan ahead. Yes, there's value in that, but there's also value in learning to tolerate your space.
Can't you manifest?
Don't watch the news.
Can't you manifest?
Don't watch the news.
Yeah, that's
correct.
true.
Don't watch the news. Don't watch the
other
news.
day.
You sure did.
The news is not happy right now.
Can't you manifest the future a little bit, though? Can't you?
Well, me personally, I can, but I'm at a whole other level.
That's right. Of what
you can plan for your future. You can try to set yourself up for success. I think that's all valuable. But
I mean, if you're uncomfortable today, you can make strides to being like Jay. Instead of fixing his swamp cooler or putting air conditioner in his house, he'll put in the middle of the summer a T-shirt and soak it and put it in the freezer and wear it until he can fall asleep at night.
Problem solved.
Listen, I've only been doing it for 12 years, so speaking of looking around the corner, I'm looking around that corner. Here's the problem with air conditioners and new swamp coolers. They want some cheddar to put it in, and I've always found something else to spend my money when I have it, and I get something else.
I get it.
When he wins the lottery, he will get a swamp cooler. Until then,
and for the record, Doctor, I don't freeze it. I soak it. And I just put it on, and I put a fan on me.
So miserable to me. I just can't even picture it.
I had a convertible that didn't have air conditioning when I was in my 20s, and that's what I would do. I would put a cup of ice sort of in between my legs, and I would put I would spray myself, and then I would drive as quickly as I could.
Can totally picture that too.
It worked.
Me and Rayme are exactly the same. That's exactly
See,
the
there
same.
you have it.
You panic a lot more than she does, though.
Oh,
You seem very cool and collected on the inside. Is that just how you carry yourself, or do you have to try to do that, or is that an acquired thing?
I mean, I have my moments where I'm not cool and collected, I'm sure, like we all do. But, no, I mean, I like figuring out the solution to problems.
Yeah.
And that's probably a good thing because I own a restaurant.
Yes, absolutely. Now, Dr. Metz would say there's a few things going for you. You probably have good sleep hygiene. She calls it
I sleep
hygiene.
outside every night of every 365 days a year.
Outside?
Outside.
How's that possible?
That's where our bed is.
I love it.
Is that?
Yeah.
Can you set the stage for me on what that would look like?
We live in the mountains outside of Boulder at about 7,200 feet elevation, and we have 14 acres, and there's no abstract lights except the stars. And my husband's a little bit like a wild animal. He owns Tender Belly with his brother, but they, they grew up in Iowa, sleeping outside, and so that's what we do. And it's very fresh.
I'm not living.
And
I'm not living.
And we sleep really well, 8 to 9 hours at least a night.
And Larry falls asleep like a little baby at midnight.
12 to 7.
12 to 7? Only 7 hours? Yeah, that's good. For years, I'd have to sleep in shifts because I did morning radio, so I'd do 4 hours at night, 4 hours. I felt like I was always asleep in a bad sleep pattern. But sleep is so important. Taking care of yourself right now, right, Doctor? That's probably the most important thing because you can't get through any problem solving if you can't think.
Right, and I think we've talked about that many times on this show is what can you add to your day, what can you add to your life that's healthy? You know, it causes people so much stress thinking I should drink less, I should do less of this, and this. Okay, then don't worry about eliminating things. Think about adding things. Think about adding something healthy. And I think that we've seen a lot of people really take that advice. I'm adding my dog to the show. That's what this is. And I think the more you add positive things, the more you feel better.
You seem to be in very good spirits today.
I'm faking it. I will tell you, today's been a rough day.
Really?
This is a solid. Yeah, I'm pulling from the empty tank a little bit today.
You're riding the snake, huh?
Well, watch the news and remember I work with police, and it's not a happy time right now for a lot of people that I take care of.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do you mind just telling us a little bit of the feeling? I mean, I know the feeling, but it's kind of despair right now, right?
It's despair, and it's a lot of sadness because again, I work with a lot of law enforcement. I'll tell you, every single cop I've talked to absolutely despises what happened in that video. Not a single officer is saying that's, this is our training. It's not the training. It's not the training. And it's not okay what happened. And cops know that. And it's sad for me to see the hurt that's being directed towards their culture as a whole. And there's a lot of hurt on a lot of different sides. So I completely respect that. But it's scary for them, and it's scary for their families to now see. It's going to be scary to be a cop for now. And I also get that it's scary to be black right now. So I'm most certainly not saying, well, let's put all the attention on cops. But it's a tough time.
How do you advise anybody? Because I know everybody wants a demonstration, everybody wants to be heard. But how do we right now encourage peaceful demonstrations?
I think it really comes down to we've got to have more conversations about community policing and making those connections in the community and making everyone seen as a person and not representing some whole culture. No one person represents a culture. That cop doesn't represent law enforcement.
No way.
Nobody represents their entire community. And so really teaching people, please see each person as their own entity and work to be interested and curious in who that person is. I think we lose our sense of curiosity when we are angry and we are very sure that we are right and the other person is wrong. It's important to stay curious.
Well said. Absolutely. In every single walk of life, there's great people, and then there's that very few that just don't deserve to be involved in anything. And you're seeing that right now. Wow, you took the time out for us today. That's amazing. And a tough day. I know. We love you too so much. Have you been out to eat yet?
Dining
room.
Have I? Tonight, I think, will be my first. We're doing the soft opening with Little Rich at the Great Divide.
You are not.
We are. We absolutely are. So we're excited. Supporting our Castle Rock community.
That's so cool. Very cool. Thanks, Doc.
It's going to be unbelievable.
It is. We peek in the windows every morning on our walk, so it's right around the corner from where we live. So we've been peeking in the windows, and we're excited to celebrate their opening.
Good to see you.
Filming them Wednesday.
Are you?
Actually,
I'll let you know the order.
So I won't be on the show Wednesday or Tuesday. Now that I think about it. Tuesday's golf. Wednesday I'm filming them. But Wednesday, did I tell you yet, Doc, that I'm filming Restaurants Near Me, my show in Castle Rock?
Are you?
So I'm going to 6 places in about 4 hours.
What are the 6? Great Divide.
Yes, Great Divide. Sugar Sisters.
Got to do that. Yep.
I think that's where I'll finish.
Yep.
My dessert. Union
Bistro. Fantastic. Yep. Great patio. Yes.
Castle Cafe.
Castle Cafe has the best fried chicken ever.
Yeah, they do it the right way in the cast iron.
Yep.
And then I got Crush Wine Bar.
Nice.
Was that 6?
That's all
a good
of them.
Day.
That's all of them in Castle Rock.
I love it.
It's not easy. It's not easy to eat at 6 restaurants in 4 hours.
I could do it. Challenge accepted. I can, if ever you guys need someone to do that, I got your back.
All right, it's Friday. You guys take it easy. Hopefully you can find some kind of relaxation and peace in your weekend. I hope you will. The Modern Eater Show will be back on, and our iHeartRadio affiliate tomorrow night, 6:30 KHOW from 6 to 8 p.m. And look forward, hopefully, to catch up with both of you guys on tomorrow night's show.
Sounds good.
Any closing words there, Larry?
Well, I'd like to know what's on the table. What's for dinner?
Oh, please.
Those are our Chimayo chicken enchiladas with a little ranchero sauce and rice and black beans, and then a mushroom and spinach and 3 cheese quesadilla. And then there's some pastries from Miette Et Chocolat also that I can't really speak towards, but they look amazing.
Could you tell me real quick who's open in the Stanley?
As far as restaurants for dine-in, I feel like it's us. Logan House Coffee Shop, Mondo Market is open. They have a small dine-in, and I think that's it. I think maybe tomorrow the beer hall will be opening. I'm not sure when Caroline and her crew will open at Annette. I don't know about DBC. No, they've been doing a ton of the curbside takeout stuff. Yeah, so that's been great.
Is anybody taking over the Saza space?
So the people that own Misaki, the Japanese place, they are, but I don't know when they're opening. Yeah.
Are they putting in Misaki or?
It's going to be a Chinese or Asian noodle-y place.
Is the pizza place still here?
No, that was Saza.
Oh, okay.
And they haven't been here for about a year and a half.
Gotcha.
And Misaki closed?
No, they're here. They're still open. They've got their little corner, and they're going to do that, and then the sit-down restaurant as well.
Gotcha.
But Rosenberg's is now doing pizza at night.
Oh, really?
In their space. Yeah.
I saw.
And they're not open for
They
dining.
have a window.
They have a window.
I saw the window.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool here at Stanley right now. They're doing.
I love the Stanley. You guys, it is such. If anyone who listens to this who has not been to Stanley Marketplace, you've got to check out Stanley Marketplace. It is such a cool place to be. I love it.
And obviously come to Comida.
Please. We'd love it.
Yeah. I can't stand to have this food sit here any longer without somebody.
Go eat.
We're going to do that. Thank you guys so much.
Guys.
And
nice to see you.
Nice
Take
to
care,
see
everyone.
you too.
Bye.
I want to rewind just to the beginning of the show as we thank everybody, but Hosea Rosenberg and your little daughter Sophie as she navigates her way through a very difficult situation. And Sophie's neighborhood. .org is where we encourage you to go to, or you can text Sophie, her name, to SOPHIE to 243725. 243725, and that's where you'll get a list of auction items. We'd encourage you also, if you got a 5, they always say a 5 helps. It really does. And what we're raising money for is this young little girl to get through a degenerative bone disease that is so rare that very, very few people have it. It's called MCTO. But basically, if you know anything about your hands and your feet, you've got metatarsals and metacarpals, and these are very little bones in your hands and their feet, and these are disintegrating, for a lack of better words, for this young lady. And she's just trying to be a little girl that's curious and wants to live life. The pain is obviously there, and beyond that, the pain of the family who's watching this little girl. They want to make progress. They want to dig in deep, and who knows, helping this little girl right here could potentially help many other people too. So please look into that as well, if you could. Thank you for hosting us, Rayme, today. Yeah. It's just fun, and I think it's important. And as we've gotten to know you just in this past week, and again, I've taken away and learned from controlling today.
Right on.
I really, and that's a takeaway that I need to do. I always like to look to the future and what can we do better. And sometimes I might just take away from my focus for the day. And so that was a big, valuable lesson that I learned here today.
Thanks, Greg.
Thank you for bringing that to us. Also, everybody else here, we didn't get a chance to catch up with Caroline Glover, but we did get to catch up with David Lewis and Raquel Serber. That's Chef Rocky, and I'm so looking forward to her new endeavors with Alita. That was the Juniper Pig, kind of a butcher shop, but now she is going into the future. This is her place. The ink is dry, and I think she's a sleeper. I think she's going to really do well in this industry.
Yeah.
She's a young go-getter, and she's got the whole world ahead of her. So for Jay Parker and Rayme and myself, we'll wish you a good day, and whatever you do, take care of yourself, take care of others, be safe, be respectful, and go out there, stick your toe back in the water. It's not so bad. Hope you enjoy it. We'll see you tomorrow on The Modern Eater Show.
Thanks.